I'm Faye Watt, and let's queer up students and youth culture. South Carolina Senate passes bill restricting transgender student bathroom access statewide. The South Carolina Senate has passed a bill restricting transgender students' access to bathrooms and locker rooms, advancing it to the GOP-controlled House. House Bill 4756, also known as the South Carolina Student Physical Privacy Act, passed in a 35-2 vote, with 2 Democratic senators opposing it. The legislation would apply to public K-12 schools and colleges, requiring multi-user restrooms, locker rooms, and changing facilities to be used based on sex assigned at birth. Schools must offer alternative options, such as single-occupancy restrooms, for students unable or unwilling to comply. The bill does not require the construction of new restrooms, but could allow the use of a portable restroom facility if necessary to meet that letter of the law. The act includes enforcement provisions that could reduce state funding for non-compliant school districts. Supporters describe the bill as a privacy safeguard, while opponents argue it could stigmatize transgender students and increase risks of harassment or forced outing. The vote reflects a broader national trend as Republican-led states increasingly regulate access to everyday spaces like bathrooms and dorms. At least 21 states have enacted similar policies so far. The bill includes limited exceptions, such as for emergencies. State Representative John King, a Democrat, has raised concerns about the legislation's intent. He said, quote, "We're starting the session off with a tone and tenor of picking on transgender people. My concern is that we are in search of a problem that isn't even there," end quote. God, I can't believe we're talking about this the day before, the day before Trans Day of Visibility. Like that irks me like nobody's business. You know, we have officially reached the point where lawmakers are more focused on bathrooms than classrooms. Mm-hmm. Schools need teachers, funding, and safety, but instead we're measuring people at the door like it's a theme park ride, all right? Leave these kids alone. You're putting a target on their back by putting them in the porta potty or putting them in the other bathroom. You just labeled them other just by doing that. Kids don't need that.
If you go back to slavery, it's not much different. You can't, because you're
whites only bathroom?
Right, whites only bathroom.
Oh,
it's
my
the same
God.
kind of thing. You know, different color. Obviously, you can't compare the two things completely, but it is what we used to do. You were singled out and you had to go somewhere else. You had to sit in the back of the bus. You had to sit in the back of the classroom. Yeah. Like these transgender kids are being, and how many of them are there that are requesting
less than 1% of the population. Right. Okay, so how many are there?
So in Ohio, and this, you know what I mean? Like how many people are there? Yeah. Talking about 2, 3, 4 kids? And the whole state is in an uproar over that. And to your point, like the world is on fire, and that's what you're worried about. Yeah. Funding is an issue. Education is an issue. Teachers are an issue. Safety for our own personal lives is an issue.
And how does this stretch to colleges? How are they able to even mess with somebody that's over 18 when they're a law-abiding citizen at that point, unless maybe it's a private school? Then I can see that.
We had bathrooms that were used by both men and women when I was in college. The showers were also in the same area. We just had curtains.
Hot.
Yeah. Well, depends on what you're looking for.
That's different.
I was like, get out of my bathroom. Wow. Where did that guy with the muscles go? He's next door. I've been stalking him and he went to the other bathroom.
Oh, wow. Well, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.